Hello everyone, I'm Auntie Golden Panther and welcome back to What I Did During College, Part 3. Unfortunately, as wonderful as my college and the people in it were, there was no escaping bad situations or bad eggs sometimes. Just a quick disclaimer, none of these things were at fault of the college staff or how things were run. It was all because of the students' interaction, I swear. So, to start off, as amazing and close-knit as my first suite was, we had a lot of bad things going on in the background. I'm not going to go into detail with them because it's a lot of stuff that happened is a bit too sensitive to talk about. To put it simply, I got a lot of bad examples of what having a roommate could mean. I also met the most provided for and self-absorbed person I have ever met in my life. This woman had some pretty bad issues, and any of my suite mates watching this video know exactly who I am talking about. We were pretty happy when we found out she wasn't coming back the next year. The most important thing I wanted to talk about was how my second year's suite functioned. In short, it did not. It all actually started back during my first year when I had moved into a room with my roommate. We were pretty excited, and I had been waved in by the suite. The people there seemed pretty nice at first. Everyone kind of stayed in their own room. Now, take note that that's what I thought at first. As I got used to the suite that first semester, some uncool things began to happen. I began to notice that the suite would have activities, and neither my roommate nor I seemed to get invited. At first, I figured it was just some of the suite mates and their friends hanging out, but later on it became very clear we were being left out quite on purpose. And I honestly still believe to this day it was because we were very different from some of the other girls in that suite. They were the group of girls that society would consider the normal girl group, while my roommate and I weren't afraid to be a little eccentric and be who we wanted to be. We were more in the nerd group, or I guess the weird and eccentric group. So I can see why we didn't really mix. However, it wasn't good for the suite dynamic, especially since the freshmen were kind of meant to bond with the sophomores in the suite and around campus. I still considered my old suite sophomores to be closer than I had ever gotten with anyone in the new suite. The next year, sadly, got worse. You see, each year the suite picks a new person to act as the suite chair. They're the responsible one that makes sure they help solve issues and that people take good care of our shared living space. When that time came at the end of my first year, I ran for suite chair in our suite, albeit a bit suddenly, and I wanted to try and get the suite closer together. I didn't win, and I wasn't too broken up about it, but the person that did win, who I will call Gail to conceal her identity, actually promised to do the same things that I wanted to do, so she was voted in and we went home over the summer. The next year was an absolutely catastrophe between us as sophomores and the new freshmen we had. The year started off pretty okay. We had a sweet dinner. We promised to do them every Sunday. We all agreed that we needed to have a game night every once in a while. I thought it was a great way to get myself out of the room and be more social with the suite. But boy, was I wrong. Sorry, James, that belongs to you. Shout out to the odd ones out. We never had a sweet game night, and we had one singular Sunday night, which I cooked for. Then for the rest of the year, there was absolutely nothing. Now, that I cannot put on Gail. That was due to everyone always being busy with their own stuff. The campus always had a bunch of stuff going on, and everybody went to that stuff. That's okay. However, when it came to traditions, things began to fall apart quickly. Now, I mentioned before that I can't talk about the different traditions that we did in detail due to it being a Cuddy experience, exclusive trademark. However, I think I can reveal from one of them that we were supposed to decorate candles for the freshmen in our suite. My roommate and I, being the artists that we are, were super excited to do this, considering this was one of our first traditions and one of the ways to start a good friendship with the other people in our suite. We were ready with paint, felt, and a whole bunch of art supplies to decorate. Our suite chair Gail told us that she would tell us when we would paint the candles, so for a week we waited. Then, the Sunday night of the tradition came, and we were getting antsy. Time was running out, and the tradition was that night, so I went and asked Gail why she hadn't said anything about the candles, and if we were going to decorate them today or something. I am there standing in her doorway, and she says, I kid you not, there wasn't any time, I just did them myself. And I look over to her desk, and see a couple of white candles, with the freshmen's names written in gold puffy paint on each, and that was it. It was the most simplistic and sloppy thing I had ever seen. My artist soul was crying. I was in such a state of shock at what she had done. I just kind of nodded and walked away. I was super angry, and so was my roommate when I told her about it. We ended up not going to the tradition that night. I super considered going behind Gail and buying a bunch of candles to give to our freshmen and make them super amazing, but I never did because I felt like that would have been a petty move. But now I regret not doing it. I especially regret it because the rest of the year's traditions and sweet events went pretty similarly. Something would be planned, and either no one would show up or it would be canceled before it even got started. At the end of the year, I also found out that the freshmen were pretty miffed about what had been going on too, and I really wish that I had talked to them sooner. Then at least something might have been done. They also found out that my roommate and I were still being pretty ostracized from a lot of the stuff, so in the end, us and the freshmen ended up pretty okay, I guess. So, this is the last of the college series. That is, unless you want to hear more or something. I can't really blame Gail and everything that happened in our suite. I think a lot of things got out of hand because she was suite chair, she was the residence hall student leader, and she was helping in a lot of the different groups that were around campus. I learned from her that being a leader in too many groups can make you drop the ball, so it's important to pick your battles. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and listening, and if you would like a commission, then please check out my website below and send me a message. If you'd like to hear a certain topic or have me elaborate more on something I've already talked about, please leave a comment below. Thanks again and have a good one. Bye!